Well, Madame Director General of the UN Office in Geneva, Tatiana Valovaya, Ambassador Alexandre Fasel, Swiss State Secretary for Foreign Affairs, the Alexandre, at the same time representative of our founders, of all of our founders. Dear guests, dear friends of the GESDA Foundation, I am very much pleased to welcome you to our annual summit on anticipation and science diplomacy, and to do that once again. Already last year we did it here at CERN. And CERN has just celebrated a week ago its 70th anniversary, and CERN has made Geneva and Europe the world capital of physics and quantum physics. So I would like to thank Fabiola Cianotti for the hospitality that we can be with you here at CERN. But I would say this also explains and makes it quite natural that our first big project that we have launched last year here, and which we have incubated in March 2024, which was the Open Quantum Institute, is hosted by CERN. So in March of this year, we have handed over the baby from the incubation period now to the CERN for its test period of 3 years. And this is a good example of the GESDA not only being a think tank, but also a do tank. So we conceived this, we hosted it by CERN, and it was supported by the UBS group, who was and is the official sponsor. Tomorrow afternoon, Fabiola will conclude the plenary session presenting the first interim results of the Open Quantum Institute, which is part of an overall GESDA initiative to accelerate and democratize the uses of quantum computing to everyone. That's why we call this initiative Quantum for All. Now, this effort also includes the international contest for quantum applications, the winner of which will be announced in January 2027. This event, as you heard already last year, is organized by the X Prize Foundation under the leadership of Anousheh Ansari, who is also with us, and in collaboration with Google and GESDA. So there's a special also moment for us at GESDA to give a welcome here today, because it's the 5th anniversary of GESDA's foundation that was created in 2019 by the Swiss government and the Geneva authorities. So we can ask ourselves, what have we learned in those 5 years of work? I think the number one learning was that the creation of GESDA was based on the observation of the acceleration of science and technology and the need to anticipate its evolution. GESDA Foundation was tasked by its founders to develop an instrument of anticipation and action to this end, to assure that those scientific breakthroughs can serve the common good all over the globe. 5 years on, we must admit that this vision was and remains more relevant than ever. Today, it's not just the world of politics and diplomacy that is being overtaken by the speed of technological and scientific development, but I think it's a society at whole who is being overtaken by the speed. And I would say this also includes the companies that are developing those technologies. And if I take, for example, generative artificial intelligence, such as ChatGPT, where the founder told us in Davos in January that he himself was surprised about the speed, and he himself doesn't know exactly what's going on in his black boxes. It has certainly been overwhelming for the citizens who are using or consuming these technologies for their own use. And 18 months ago, nobody would have been talking about using ChatGPT, and today I don't know anybody who does not. But this also includes the scientists themselves, since machines have learned to develop the algorithms on its own, which are extremely difficult to access, if they are accessible at all. Again, according to some scientists, they don't know anymore what the machines are doing. Number two of the learning is that the political and diplomatic world has become more and more aware of the importance of science at the national, bilateral, and multilateral level. Think, for example, of the Pact of the Future that the UN General Assembly has just adopted. Or think also of the AI Safety Summit organized by the United Kingdom, or the one that is being organized by France next year. Science is now part of geopolitics, and the competition between nations to produce, access, and protect scientific knowledge has moved from a competitive advantage to scientific supremacy, which is being looked for by several governments. But I won't belabor this point, as Alexandre Fasel and Tatiana Valovaya can testify to this much better, and they will do so afterwards. So number three, I think we are all now aware that we are living in a world accelerated by science and technology. But we are also aware that not everybody, by far not everybody, benefits quickly enough from those advances. And I think this is not sustainable. If we want more people to benefit quickly enough from the acceleration of science and technology, we need one thing, and this is anticipation. It is anticipation which is the key to sustainability. So basically, the positioning given to GESDA 5 years ago by our founders proved right, and the need to anticipate also gained attractions in all spheres of society. So what does anticipation mean for GESDA? Well, it means that we have to do several things at the same time. The first one being, of course, to detect and monitor permanently the speedy development of emerging science in the public and the private laboratories. For this, we need one thing, and this is a collaboration, the voluntary collaboration of scientists from all over the world, and they will collaborate with us as long as they have trust in our work. We also have to increase society's preparedness to this development by speeding up at the same pace early uses of those sciences. We have to experiment early on, anticipate what those sciences will afterwards bring. And for this, we have to develop and fund early international trials based on these emerging sciences to make sure that opportunities, benefits, and access are shared as soon as possible by as many people as possible, which is one of the fundamental thoughts that we had when we created the Open Quantum Institute. So over the next 3 days, we are going to share with you our most recent results. This year's summit focuses on how the acceleration of science and technology is producing what the 2,100 scientists from 87 countries who are working with us are calling anticipation and augmentation. So we are talking about data augmentation with quantum and advanced AI, neuro-augmentation, eco-augmentation. And we need to transform those augmentations into shared knowledge and an increased ability to use it diplomatically, economically, and individually as citizens. Having this goal in mind, we will launch on Friday, in presence of the Swiss Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ignacio Cassis, and his ministerial guests, as well as the Mayor of Geneva, Cristina Kitsos, our second big project, which is called the GESDA Anticipation Getaway initiative. And this initiative is encompassing three things. The first one is our global curriculum for anticipatory leadership. The second one is the Geneva Public Portal to Anticipation that will be part of the Swiss pavilion in Osaka, in the World Exhibition Osaka next year. And third, the GESDA Anticipation Observatory. These initiatives mark the start in scaling up the GESDA activities worldwide. The simultaneous launch of its three components of the Getaway is possible thanks to a new partnership which we were able to sign with the Rupert family based in South Africa and its philanthropic arm of the Compagnie Financière Richemont, a global watch and jewelry company headquartered in Bellevue here in Canton of Geneva. So I warmly thank Johann and Anton Rupert for their confidence and enthusiasm, as well as Guillaume Pictet, whose leadership helped to create this very important partnership for us. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank Benedikt Hensch and the Foundation Hippomen for sponsoring the presentation of our RARA and Summit 2025 in the Financial Times, which you have seen on Monday perhaps, in the NZZ in Zurich today and Le Temps in Geneva, as well as all our public and private contributors who make GESDA possible. Of course, those are our founders, the Swiss Confederation, the Canton and the City of Geneva, and our more long-standing 4 Swiss and 4 international private sponsors. It is worthwhile mentioning that GESDA has achieved today a mix between public sponsorship and private sponsorship of 27% public and 73% private sponsorship. So with all of this, I think we were able to prepare another, hopefully very interesting, encouraging, and thoughtful summit, and I look forward to our upcoming discussions. Thank you very much.